Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 2. Yes, I'm hanging out with the men of the Ottawa REDBLACKS Cheer and Dance team. Don't be surprised that they're men, just be surprised at how awesome they are. Allow me to introduce you to them again. Kurtis, Martin, Satia, Conor, and Jose. Now, our last episode left off and I was getting some messages. People were like, wait a minute. Okay, we understand why he's called Panda. We understand what got him into cheerleading, but what else does he do outside of the REDBLACKS? So, Satia, back to you, my friend.
Hey.
Outside of the REDBLACKS, what do you got going on?
I work for the government.
Okay.
I work for the government as a financial analyst. And I go to school in finance. I study finance. But my main goal after school was getting my CFA, which is Chartered Financial Analyst. And we'll see where it goes from there.
Okay. Excellent. And, well, thank you so much for that. Okay. Conor, Jose, how are you guys doing?
Great. I'm pretty bueno.
Yeah. So, Conor, I want to start with you.
Yeah.
So, I find your story of getting into cheerleading pretty interesting. What got you into it?
Honestly, I was just at work, and I was on our business Twitter page, and it happened to be the CFL or TSN retweeted a REDBLACKS post about cheerleading tryouts.
Okay.
So there was a poster, and I think Kenny was on the poster actually with Laura, one of the girls with us last year, and it said REDBLACKS tryouts for cheerleaders. Are you? And it listed like a bunch of details.
Okay.
So it was like outgoing. Are you good with a crowd? Can you talk? Are you athletic? Blah 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 blah. And then it said like, do you have cheerleading experience? And so I just kind of like put my hand over that and just said, well, most of the others I got. So
9 out of 10. We're good.
So it just said there's an information session at the Marriott Residence on Laurier downtown on Tuesday at 7 o'clock. And it said show up if you want to go, and I showed up, and somehow then I went to auditions over the weekend and then got announced in the team.
Okay.
So yeah, it was pretty strange. I remember one of my earlier memories was that all 6 of the coaches were up the front, and all of them introduced themselves, and it eventually came to Kelly, who's like our cheer coach, probably spends the most amount of time with us.
Okay.
And they had all said, you know, my name is like Lisa O'Con, and I own a company, and I'm very excited to work with you. They're all very monotone answers, very plain. And then it came to Kelly, and Kelly's like, hi, I'm Kelly, I've been doing cheerleading for X amount of years, and I can't wait to do some like level 6 stunting with you guys. And I was like,
He looked at me, level 6? What?
is there 10 levels? Because that sounds like kind of in the middle. But apparently it's the biggest level, I think.
Yeah, 6 is the highest level.
So that kind of stumped me. So I remember going home and YouTubing level 6 stunting. What the hell is this?
Yeah.
So
it's pretty much walking in and just all of a sudden going for your black belt.
kind of, yeah. I would
Okay.
equate it to that.
Now, how's the experience been for you so far?
It's been really good. It's been really enjoyable. It's something I never thought I'd be doing, and it's something, as you tell from the first story, that I didn't have any idea what it was about. And similar to Martin, like he had certain expectations when his girlfriend was saying, "Oh, you should definitely try it," and he's like, "No, like bicep curls will do it for me." But once you get into it, you realize there's so much more to it. Like the training is great, the people you meet is great. And then obviously game day is just something else out of this world. Like being in front of like 25,000 people every week doesn't happen everywhere. And you see like all the time players from BC, players from Edmonton, they all tweet out saying like how great TD Place is to come and play because it's just an electric atmosphere.
Absolutely.
So that's been the highlight.
Well, I definitely can't argue with that. I've been to every single home game and it's absolutely fantastic. So you get in, you pretty much walk on, and you get involved with it. Now the interesting thing is that I know the cheer team. You guys practice once a week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, but outside of that, like what's the routine like for you? Now, are you involved with any other cheer organizations right now?
No cheer organizations. I work as a sales representative for Remax.
Okay.
So I came over here. I got my license pretty quick, and I started buying and selling houses very quick.
Well, congrats on that.
Thank you. And so outside of that, I play rugby as well.
Okay.
So I actually have cheer training on Monday. I have rugby Tuesdays and Thursdays. I have rugby games on Saturdays. I have REDBLACKS games on Fridays.
Okay.
And I play hurling on Wednesdays. So
Okay.
hurling is an Irish sport.
Okay.
I'm not sure what
So
that is.
Can you explain that?
hurling is kind of like, I
Because you
guess,
say hurling, people might sound you're curling, but you're not. You're saying hurling.
it's not curling and it's not vomiting violently. It's,
Okay. Good to know.
it's a sport that's kind of like field hockey,
Okay.
except you play in the air. Okay, so it's like a field hockey stick,
Okay.
except the bottom of the stick is a little bit bigger,
Okay.
and you play with something that looks like a baseball.
Okay.
And you have goal posts very similar to rugby posts,
Okay.
except it has a net where the goal is like soccer.
Okay.
So it's 15 aside. If you hit what's called a slitter, so the baseball, if you hit the slitter in between the posts, it goes over the bar, you get 1 point. If you hit it in the goal, you get 3 points.
Okay.
And I would just recommend Googling it and watching it because it's an excellent, excellent sport.
I think people are going to be Googling it after they watch this. So here's a question for you. You've got so many different sports going on. So automatically my thought process is injury. So are you making sure that you're careful as you're doing all of these things?
Honestly, I've had a lucky year this year. Last year, I tore my rotator cuff of my shoulder. I damaged tendons in my wrist. I got a contusion in my calf. They were all rugby induced. Actually, very few of them were cheerleading induced, but
Okay.
they kind of affected the team a little bit. But so far this season, no injuries. I've been like big stretch downs after every session. Yeah. So stretching down after every session is very important. I also studied sports studies and physical education in university.
Okay.
So I'm a qualified teacher as well. So I kind of know a little bit about taking care of the body and recovering.
Okay. What don't you do? Do you break dance?
Not right now,
But you're going to go home and Google it, and then
Watch this
YouTube it,
space.
and then okay. All right. Fantastic. So things are working out well for you. You're liking being on the team.
yeah, absolutely. Love being on the team. Teammates are great, coaches are great, games are great, and it's a fantastic experience.
So, quick question for all of you: how are you guys? One of the things that I love that you guys do is the community piece. How are you guys enjoying that? Like being ambassadors, not only for the team but the community as a whole.
Oh, it's been a great experience actually. Me and Conor actually recently went to the Dragon Boat Festival back in there, and we actually got a really great reception from all the ladies there. We actually had one overzealous fan who actually just came up to us and she like told us straight up to our faces like, it's really unfortunate that like all the men they get to see these ladies dressed up in their cheerleader outfits. And she says to us, like, it's unfortunate that, like, you boys don't dress more scantily. And, like,
oh, wow.
She said something along the lines of, like, I get to ask, or I have to ask for it, but, like, the guys kind of get it automatically.
Wow.
Which,
And she also asked, is there a show coming up later where you could take off your clothes?
Okay, listen, first of all, I want to apologize for my neighbor. She's like that sometimes.
She's a really nice lady. I'm
Yeah.
sure she's just a little confused.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
But the community events have been great. The people are just fantastic. Like they're really great with us. So they just really make those experiences just really memorable, and like it makes us want to go back. Like if you have those if you make those personal experiences with people, like you've got those bonds, and you just like you feel more a part of the community.
Especially as a starting team. I mean, like last season was the first season for the Ottawa REDBLACKS, right? It didn't exist before then. So a big part of our job was trying to spread the word of the REDBLACKS football team. And by going out to all these community events, I mean, everyone remembers year one, the event events we all did, and that we were going to and really pushing it. And now it's all coming back this year, like the community, like all those same sort of events are calling us back. They want us back to perform again. And just really had a good impact on the team and attendance.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think it's fantastic because to take absolutely nothing away from the dance team, we're not used to seeing the stunting and the performing. And there's a move that you guys do. I'll see if I can find a picture of it and put it up with this blog. I call it the cartwheel move. You guys probably have a professional term for it, but every time I see it, I think it's fantastic. Basically, what it is you've got two flyers, and they're doing like cartwheels crisscrossed in midair. And I can't do a cartwheel on the ground, let alone a cartwheel in midair. So I look at things like that, and I think to myself that just when you think that you guys have reached a plateau, it's like you come up with something that's so fresh and that's so awesome. I gotta ask real quick, who came up with the cartwheel move? Was that one of the coaches, or?
That was actually Olivia.
I'm gonna say Olivia. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if she invented it, but she was definitely the one who introduced it to us.
Okay, love it.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. Pretty much anything in cheerleading. It's like one of the things that I love. It's like those little moments where you kind of see something that kind of just makes you gasp. Like you kind of lose your breath a little bit and then realize everything's all right. Like everyone's safe. And just,
That's always a good thing. Jose, how are you doing?
I'm good, thanks.
Jose, so what got you into cheerleading? What got you what led to you becoming, this is the first day of my new time, what led to you becoming a part of the Red Blacks team?
To cheerleading or to Red Blacks?
Oh, there's a difference?
There's a little difference. Yeah.
Okay, well let's start with whichever came first. You tell me, it's your story.
On 2013, I had the chance to go to Asia, especially at Singapore, and I was at the National University of Singapore.
Okay.
And then as I was walking around, I see this whole bunch of people just like throwing girls in the air. And I was like super scared, like, oh my gosh, it's gonna die. And then they actually like got it. Wow, is that for real? You know, I mean, so I was very curious about it. So I like stood on the side and I started watching, you know, and I was like, wow, I was pretty amazed at like all these fantastic, you know, acrobatics that they do. And you know, I was pretty new in the country, like maybe like a week after I arrived. So I started, I stood there and I watched, and then one of the cheerleaders for the University of Singapore, she approached me, you know, she saw that I was looking at them very interested. So she came in and she's like, oh, you know, like we're actually having some recruiting session happening next week. So, you know, like if you want to check it out, you know, like she was giving me the information. And I'm like, okay, sure. I don't have anything else to do here. You know, I just arrived. I don't know anyone. And then I kept watching, and then she came back again and she's like, you know what, like you seem very interesting. Why don't you come in and try with us like some stuff, you know? And I was like, okay, sure, why not? So they were also like teaching me how to do like toss to hand, which is basically when the girl's in front of you and then you toss her in the air and then you like catch her on her feet, right? So obviously at the beginning, like the technique was like really bad and I didn't know how to do it. But like actually on that first time, like they were like encouraging me a lot to do it. Finally I managed to do it. I thought it was so impressive. So I said, you know what, like this is like my year in Singapore, like maybe this is the thing that I want to do. So that was like the highlight of that trip, and it actually made me learn a lot about cheerleading. Now when I get back to Ottawa in 2014, I was looking for, you know, some sort of cheering to do, and try to keep on going with that. But I couldn't find much. But on the next summer, which is 2015, this year, and actually Kurtis introduced me to the information about Fred. I didn't even know him. He just like messaged me on Facebook and he's like, you know, this is what's happening. You should check it out. Unfortunately, the weekend of the recruiting session, I was away. I was in Toronto visiting the family, and then I sent them a video of the stuff that I managed to learn when I was in Singapore, and they said like, you know what, you should come and check it out. And then I went, and then I met this gentleman right here.
Yeah.
They're all really cool.
Yeah.
And then I also met the girl cheerleader, and I was like, man, this is it. Let's do it. This is super.
So here's a question for you. So from what I gather, you know, there's a lot of self teaching in this. You're somewhat self-taught with cheerleading. Was it difficult going and finding people to practice with? Because I know that you're a professional salsa instructor. So, but salsa is one thing. Flipping people in the air is a little different.
Yeah.
So, were you basically going up to your good friends and saying, "I want to flip you," or how did that work?
For that answer. I'm listening to that
How
answer.
did that work?
No. I mean, when I was actually learning.
Yeah, because you
cheer.
said you were sending in videos. So, was it videos?
No, these are videos that I filmed when I was in Singapore.
Oh, okay,
I was there for a year,
Okay.
and then I learned a lot. Like,
Okay.
They were training like 3 to 4 times a week, and then like it just fits really well because I didn't know anything. And then with that training, I think I became pretty experienced.
Now, on top of the Red Blacks, like, as I just said, you're a professional salsa instructor as well.
Yeah.
So I think that's fantastic because who doesn't like salsa dancing? Okay. So how long have you been doing that for?
Salsa for about over 10 years now.
Okay.
Well, back home in Venezuela, where I'm from, there is salsa everywhere, like at the bus stop, like at the restaurant, like at home.
Waiting for the bus to
Everywhere.
Okay.
Salsa is everywhere.
Okay.
So I kind of like grew up with that. As I got older, as I got older, like 18, I decided to like really like get more into it. So I started taking some lessons and like trying to understand more the technical technicality behind it.
Okay.
And here I am now, like teaching, performing. Sometimes I get some international jobs, and I go and I travel, perform, teach, do workshops, a whole bunch of things. So it's very, very interesting. I love it. It's one of my passions as well as cheerleading.
That's fantastic. Now, you know, like your teammates, you're in this position now where you're a role model. Okay, people are going to be looking up to you. So to that end, do you have like a lot of kids coming up to you and talking to you about getting involved with cheerleading? Has that been happening to you as yet?
It hasn't happened yet, to be honest. But if I were to have like children or people like asking me how to cheer, I would definitely encourage them because this is a great sport. And as we were talking in episode 1, you know, everything, as Satia was saying, you know, everything that you want to do, you know, you can do. So if you set that as a goal and you work towards it, you can become an amazing cheerleader as well.
Now, are your clients super impressed that you're part of the Red Blacks? So when they come to learn salsa lessons from you, are they like, okay, can I get tickets? Or what is that like? Do they know that you're part of the Red Blacks?
Some of them, yeah, some of them do, and they're like, wow, Jose, what else do you do?
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, they're pretty amazing. They're pretty amazing. And then I managed to like combine some of the like, cheerleading tricks that I know into my salsa tricks. Because I do also do performances, and I you know, in order to entertain people, you want to add some flipping and some lifting. Right. So I kind of like managed to like combine some stuff just to get like more attention from the people.
And he gets salsa into court as well. Yeah. We saw it last practice. He was holding the girl. It was like opa, opa, opa. That was kind of funny.
So, real quick question for you, just before we wrap up this episode. I know that a lot of times the two things that people dread are wedding dancing and Christmas party dancing. Do you have couples who come to you for instructions and help with that, or do you more just do individual lessons?
I do both. I've gotten quite a few wedding dances.
Okay.
Those are very cute because like you never know what to expect from them. Some of them have some dancing experience.
Okay.
Some of them are like zero.
Okay.
But it's great. You know, you have to like get to know them first, you know, and see how much you can improve their skills.
Right.
And then teach them something that will suit the music that they give you, right? And I love doing wedding couples. As well, I also get people that actually want to improve more into their own skills. So I get some private classes set up sometimes, and I teach them how to like do nice salsa tricks as well.
Have you ever done a flash mob? Has anybody here ever done a flash mob?
Yes.
All right, I want you guys to know, everybody knows, I've talked about this ad nauseum. I've got the summer bucket list. One of my things on the ultimate bucket list is a flash mob. So if you guys have any flash mobs coming up, I want to be part of it. Have you done one before?
I have done one before.
And you've done one as well?
Yeah.
All right. So 4 of us here haven't?
So you want to be part of my next flash mob?
I want to be part of your flash mob.
All right. I'll get you mine. I'll get you both for sure.
I'm a little boy with a dream. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes...
Now, before you stop, Keith.
Yeah.
Before you stop.
This is not the real interview.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is an exclusive. Welcome to the interview! And we got our translator here is Jose. Jose, can you please translate for us, please, for a Spanish audience?
Buenas tardes, damas y caballeros. Bienvenidos a la entrevista verdadera del día de hoy con los Ottawa Rojo y Negro.
Okay, Keith, really fast. Okay, really fast. You gotta be ready. Okay, can you state for the camera your full name, please? Go.
Keith Whittier.
And what is your age?
Next question.
Hair color.
Shaved.
Favorite 80s song?
Purple Rain Prince.
Say that one more time, Keith.
Purple Rain Prince.
Purple Rain Prince. Okay, favorite color?
Color. Oh, sorry.
Blue. We got that.
Okay.
Favorite color if you're looking underwater?
Favorite color if I'm looking underwater? Green.
Okay. Any martial art that you favor? What's your favorite martial art?
Artes marciales favoritas?
Taekwondo.
Taekwondo.
If you were a planet, which one would you be?
Planet?
Yeah.
Si tú fueras un planeta, ¿cuál serías tú?
Jupiter.
Júpiter.
What is your favorite Doritos flavor?
¿Cuál es tu Dorito favorito?
Cool Ranch.
Correct! Yeah! Okay, and last but not least, what's your least favorite horror movie without Jennifer Love Hewitt?
La película de terror que menos te gusta con
Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Jennifer Love Hewitt.
The Exorcist of Emily Rose.
El exorcista de Emily Rose.
Hey! That concludes our interview. I'd like to thank Keith very much for coming to our interview, and we'd like to thank also Jose. Thank you, Jose.
Muchas gracias y veanos en el episodio número 3.
Ladies and gentlemen, completely impromptu. You never know what's going to happen here. So, for those of you who've ever tuned into an episode of The Bachelorette, guess what? The next episode is going to be the Men Tell All. You were probably wondering, when's Rapid Fire coming up? We're going to get a whole series on it coming up. So, come back for episode 3. Thanks, guys. Stick around. Isn't this awesome?
Amazing!